Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And Dr. Light's going to have prayer and have a pledge.
Lord, thank you so much for bringing us together. Help us and guide us to make the decisions that are best for the students in Lincoln County. And thank you for all that you provide for the exceptional teachers, administrators, students, families, and community that are here in Lincoln County. In Jesus' name and the Lord's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you guys for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing we have on our agenda is the elementary school course system.
We have a very short agenda today, but I wanted to be able to get the bids in front of you so that we could vote and get to the company on the flooring. I want to thank the companies that continued to bid with us and stick with us on the elementary flooring. We had 7 that attended the mandatory pre-bid meeting. We had 5 that actually submitted a bid. You can see the amount of disparity there between the 5. You may remember Triple J was the highest in the last time we did it as well. But as you can read that, I'm recommending that Lively Floor Covering receive the contract, and they are meeting Davis-Bacon because it is federal dollars for $212,706, and that will be paid out of federal funds.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What's different from the one it bid in February? Did we rebid?
We did rebid, yes, sir, because the bids were too high.
Right.
And one of the things that one of the contractors said was the abatement of the tile. That abatement contract came down by like 65%. I don't know if they used a different company. I don't know what happened. But that was the adjustment that I was told by one of the contractors.
So nothing was changed in the specifications?
No, sir. None of the specs were changed. It was just the abatement that most of the tile companies don't do that.
Right.
They hire somebody.
Correct.
And they said that cost went down drastically. Now, maybe they used a different company. I don't know. But that's what one of them told me.
Okay.
And this will be completed by the beginning of the next school year?
Yes, sir. That's part of the contract. It has to be done before school starts. Yes.
So our teachers have to pack their stuff and then we're
Well,
gonna actually move? Or
Yes,
how-
our teachers are actually taking their stuff and consolidating it either into boxes or what have you. And then all of the custodians are gonna be at the elementary school putting all of this into pods. The pods are already sitting on go, waiting on them, or on us to get to that date. We had that last year, but we pushed the date back another year because of the
Right.
confusion with the tile last year. So this year, we're all set to go.
So they have a start date? I mean,
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, all
we
of
got
that was part
set.
of the pre-bid meeting and all that was set up. So, yeah, they know when they can start. They'll probably work a lot of long hours trying to meet all of those requirements, and all of them assured me they'd have to work weekends as well. But that's not gonna be a problem for us.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to accept the recommendation?
I'll make a motion to accept
Motion by
Lively's
Mr. Madison.
floor covering.
Have a second. Second by Mr. Reese. All in favor? The next item is the February board meeting minutes.
We found an error, or were notified of an error when the February board meeting minutes came out. We wanted to correct that error. There was someone listed that should not have been listed. We corrected that error and needed to make it right. And I believe that I have solved the reason that that happened, so it will not happen again. But I wanted the minutes to be accurate, so I brought it back for board approval.
Any question about that?
It's nothing illegal. I mean, we're good with lawyers doing all this.
Yep, 100% legal as long as we turn around and vote on it, make it right. All we did was make it air.
Okay.
So the motion we made, the vote we made was
Correct.
was correct and fair. We just made an error on what was recorded after that. So we are correcting that error.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to accept the correction of the minutes for the February meeting?
I'll make a motion. We accept the
Madison.
corrected minutes.
Second.
February.
I have a question there.
Sure.
Can you tell us the process that you go through for reviewing the minutes? Just quick, I don't want micromanage, but I like to know.
Sure.
Pretty important.
After the board meeting, Lynn goes through and types up all of the minutes and goes back over the tape multiple times to make sure she gets everything right. And then after she does that, she submits them to Taylor. Taylor reviews them, and then it comes to me, and then I review them. Now, after I review them, I sign them, and then we bring them to the board. Unfortunately, there was a name that was on here that should not have been. It was a maiden name, and I was looking for a different name, and I didn't catch it. And the others didn't catch it either, and I think I've found a way to eliminate that process. So we made a mistake, and we're trying to fix it.
Okay. So the financial person reviews the minutes of the meeting?
As well as Lynn that creates them, and then I do. So,
Okay.
and I do that only because that's three of us, and I think that's smarter than just one of us.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Sir.
Second by Mr. Reese. All in favor? I need a motion to go into executive session.
Can I ask a question before we go?
You can.
Okay. I've been getting repeated questions. Just a few times I go to spring games. I know we discussed this about a month ago, Dr. Light, about the ticket price of spring events is like $8. And that's extremely, that's a lot more than what it was last year. And it puts a burden on the average family to come to a game, especially if they got multiple sport kids. And I just want to know, a few reasons, why it is the price it is now, and then is it consistent across the board? And if it is or isn't, why not? Because I'm getting a lot of information in chatter. $8 a person, and 4 people, that's $32. Then you eat, you'll spend almost $200 a week.
And you got several games during the week, like baseball or soccer. They don't play just once a week.
But if you quantify that into a month, you could spend $800 potentially in a month to see your kids play those sports.
I talked to our athletic director, who attends all of the meetings, and they have the discussion of what they're going to charge for in-region games. And I talked to him more than once about this, and his response was he was told, and they were told in that meeting, that it was $8 for all region games. He felt it made a whole lot more sense to be $8 across the board instead of, as you come in a non-region game, paying, pick a number, 6 or 5, and then region comes in with $8, and then everybody's confused of what's it going to be this week. So he left it the same. He was told that it was going to be $8 everywhere. Why another place is not doing it, that's within our region now. If they're out of region, they can pick whatever number they want from their region. But according to him, he was told, and they all voted and agreed, that it is $8 for every region game. So he made it $8 across the entire board, and that's just the way they left it, trying not to confuse everybody. Now, if this board wants to change that, then we can change that and make it whatever you want to make, but the region is supposed to be 8, and that's what the region ADs voted on.
I mean, if it is in fact that across the board, then I guess that's what it's gonna be, but I'm getting information from people that actually go to different games that say that it's not. It's 5, 6, or maybe 7, none is 8. So, I mean, It's just a strain on the community. I mean, and it's a financial strain, and, you know, we need to be consistent about it. I mean, I don't know what it costs to go to a football game now, but I think it's $8.
I believe it was 8 as well.
Yeah.
And they make it, could somebody, so is it $8? Do we know? So it's tennis, soccer, baseball, everything?
Tennis doesn't.
Tennis doesn't charge.
No.
Soccer does.
I'd have to go back and look at what Lee had sat down with me and talked about, but the region sets them for each sport, and then we're bound by a region to follow that.
Okay.
Now, what you could have happening, I don't know, Mr. Heitman, you might, let's say, I know soccer, we play Greene County twice. One of those is a region game, one of those is not. Baseball's a little different because all three are region games when we play them, but soccer be Greene County, I know is a region game. One of those counts as region, one's not. So when the region game itself has to be the $8. Now, you could choose for the non-region game, to 6, 5, whatever your local sets it at.
Right.
But the region game itself has to be that 8, and as Dr. Light just said, instead of having you come up, I don't know if we're paying 8, I don't know if we're paying 6, I don't know if we're paying whatever, it was making it across the board.
I mean, when you're jumping from 5 to 8, I had the luxury of sitting on this board, and I can go in, and that's part of my pay. But I've had a lot of people tell me that it's a strain. And some of them are in the banking business, and some of them go to the baseball games, and they say they're all different numbers across the board. So I'm just asking that we get some kind of definitive information on
That's
that.
definitive, from the region, I mean, that comes down from the region. Again, like Dr. Light said, I have no idea why another school within a region game would not be charging that.
Right.
Unless it's soccer, which very easily could go to Greene, I think that one at Greene was region.
Yeah.
And they came back here, yeah, we don't have to charge 8, but again, trying to be consistent across the board.
What would happen if we didn't charge 8 for a region game? I mean, Georgia High School is not involved in it, are they?
Oh, absolutely.
They are?
Yes,
I
sir.
thought it was just playoffs, so.
No.
So they-
Georgia High School allows the region to set that stuff. You're bound by what the region sets. If not, you start talking school fines, you can be
Yeah.
suspended from region play.
I just wanted to make sure we
Yeah, oh,
had to
absolutely, you're
do it.
bound by that. To participate in DHSA, you have to agree that you're gonna participate into the regional alignments they set. And then that region secretary, which is, I think it was the guy from Towns County, I know it was for years, I don't know if it's
I
still.
think you're right. I think he's still there.
Still the one who sets it, they all meet together, I think, and that's what they come up with a region price, and you're bound by that, otherwise you start looking at fines and everything else, and you can be suspended from region play and all that good stuff.
So the person that was giving me the most information was baseball only, and he said it was anywhere from 5 to 7, never an 8, only at Lincoln County. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out there, just trying to understand and see if we can.
We used to have passes for the students. Do we still offer that at all? Is there such thing as like
Like
a
an all
goal,
sports pass?
goal pass if they're?
We have, the gold passes they earn by their grades.
Right,
That's
that's-
county policy. We do give those out, absolutely.
So what is that again? If
They
it's
get into home events for free.
90 and above or 95 and
I
above?
believe policy is 90 and above.
So 90 and above a student, middle school or high school?
But middle school can get into middle school events with their gold card.
Okay. So if a student's doing well, that would eliminate that cost then?
For the student, yes, sir.
For the student, not the parent, but that
Right.
would, so they do have an incentive. Okay. I knew we used to do that, so that
We
was.
still do, and that's county policy. The gold card is in policy.
I mean, middle school should honor high school would be in the same district. Now,
I'm just
Why
telling
would
you
you-
that our kids have never been allowed to use their gold card for high school events. I would love it.
I'm just saying, I mean, that's something may need to be looked at because it's in the same district. If a student's in the 6th grade and making a 90, I mean, that's a privilege to me and an incentive. So maybe something to talk about in the future, I think. But I thank you for telling me that. I wanted to know if it was still going on.
I've heard the complaints as well. I would like to see us at some point in time offer a package deal.
I brought that up when I first got here, doing an all sports pass. And you can include football. I've done it at every place I've been at, and not.
And I don't know that we would have to include football. I mean, could, but I don't know that, I know that with football, a lot of times you're looking at different price-wise gates and that kind of thing, but, you know, just throwing a figure out there, I think families would rather pay $250 for an all-sports package than they had pay it every time they walk through the gate. I don't know where the breaking number is to where the school athletic department still makes the money, but yet could do the package deal. But somewhere they ought to be aligned to where you pay $250 and it benefits you this much money, but it also benefits the school system, because I know just myself, if I was going there and I paid $250 and I decided not to go to one of the games, that's something that the school would benefit from. They got the money, but I didn't actually go to the game. And I think that people would be interested in that, and I don't know how to go about that, but I think that's something that we should look into, is, but because you have, I know with Allie playing soccer and having 3 games a week, and I know that you have families that are parents and one child, and like you're saying, I mean, they're paying $24 just to get in the gate. Well, if they're paying $24 3 times a week, they spent $75 already, and that's not buying a thing, that's just getting in the gate. And so,
That's something that I believe you and Mr. Heitman both have brought up before about an all-sports pass, and that's something that we're gonna discuss before next year
Okay.
to see if that's even feasible. And how could we break even with it? What's the break-even number? And then from there, how do you make a little bit of profit or not make profit? So that's something we wanna at least discuss, and if it is feasible financially and it's not out of sight, then we'll bring it back to the board.
I would like to see us look into that. Any other questions before we go to executive session? I think Mr. Hyden made a motion to go into executive session. Second.
No,
You didn't? Oh, you raised, I guess.
Well, I'll
you
make a
raised-
motion.
Mr. Madison. Second. Mr. Martin. I'd like to call this meeting back to order. I have a recommendation from the superintendent, and I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Crystal Beard. Second by Mr. Reese. All in favor? I have a recommendation from the superintendent, and I make a motion that we hire Kristen Russell. I'm sorry. I need to abstain from that, but I guess I have a recommendation from the superintendent, and I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Mr. Heitman. Second, Mr. Madison. All in favor? And I'm gonna abstain due to family relations. I have a recommendation from the superintendent, and I make a motion that we hire Chelsea Shoebottom for the self-contained position 23-24 school year. Second by Mr. Madison. All in favor? I have a recommendation from the superintendent, and I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Tanju McKinney. Second by Mr. Heitman. All in favor? I have a recommendation from the superintendent and I make a motion that we hire Sally St. Eastspirit as a bus driver for 22-23 school year. Second by Mr. Madison. All in favor? I have a recommendation from the superintendent, and I make a motion that we hire Floyd Turner as a substitute bus driver for 22-23 school year. Second by Mr. Madison. All in favor? Need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.